Look at this little owl. I totally got this little mug at Walmart for like $3. It's fall, so you guys are gonna see all the owl mugs right now. It's like, it feels appropriate. I have tons of owl mugs now. All the owl mugs. I don't know if that's a tea or a bug. This is going to be a long episode. Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 18 of the Hooked on Owls podcast. My name is Lacey and I'm coming to you as always from the beautiful Mitten state of Michigan, where it is officially fall. Yay! I don't know about you guys, but I am super excited that it's not like a million degrees outside and humid as heck. It's nice and dry and it has that beautiful little crispy leaf smell in the air, and I am very excited. There's so many amazing things about fall. I get to wear all of the knits and crochets. We get to go to the pumpkin farm with the family, and Halloween, because that's too much fun. Anyway, how have you guys been? It's been a minute since we've done an actual podcast. We've had quite a few videos in between the last one and this, but it's been, like 3-4 weeks-ish. It's been busy. It's, as I'm sure you guys know if you've seen any of the previous episodes, it's been busy. This is my busy time of year and things get a little bit crazy, but I have a ton to go over with you today. So we're going to move a little fast paced, and then at the end we're going to talk about a couple of things about some possible changes to how the podcast is run. I mean, it's still going to be me and things like that. It's not going to get all crazy, but I might make some changes. We've been coming up on a year now almost. So, after having that much data collected through the system, looking over watch times and things like that, whatever. I'll get to that at the end because that's the boring stuff that you don't care about right now. So let's just discuss all the fun stuff first, right? So first up in the news real quick. I am running a fall giveaway because I was too excited and I found some really fun fall colored yarns. And I found that I really like doing giveaways. When I did the 1,000 subscriber giveaway and I asked a question, it was really fun to see everybody's answers. So I decided I'll do another giveaway and I'll ask another question because I was curious, to see, I think I said, what's your favorite part about fall? And I've had some really random answers, like I don't have to cut the grass anymore, which that's totally my mom's favorite part too. So it's so much fun to see everybody's answers and see how they either like or dislike the fall, essentially. Different things that they like about it. So I'll put a little card up here if you want to check out that video. If you haven't already entered, there's like 6 balls of yarn up for grabs. If you just want to swing over to that video, check that out. You just have to subscribe and leave a comment on that one, and you could be entered in a chance to win 6 free balls of yarn. Fall colored. There's orange, brown, I actually think it's pumpkin, coffee, and the other one's sandstone stripes, which is a brown, beige, and orange, I think it is. So check that out. Next, I did do an 80s make-along that we were doing for my birthday. I did pick the winners, and I have made a video for that, which you can find here on this iCard. If you haven't already seen that, go ahead and jump over to that and see if you won any of the prizes for the 80s make-along that we just wrapped up. The only other news that I want to go to before we jump into everything else is I think I'm going to attempt Vlogtober this year. I watched a lot of Vlogtobers last year, and it looks like fun. Now I have a very crazy, hectic, absurd life with children doing everything everywhere, which I'll talk more about at the end in the chit chat section. So It might be a little crazy, but I really want to do it. I think it sounds like fun. So that's my challenge to myself, is I'm planning on doing Vlogtober this year. We'll see how it goes. Oh, it's 1,000,000 degrees. So let's jump into Spotlight tonight so I can get this thing off, because I turned off my air so that you guys could hear me. So, Knit and Crochet podcast. Tonight we're spotlighting. This is my Fringe Theory shawl. Yes, my Fringe Theory shawl that I was testing. I don't even know if I started it in the last one. I can't remember. It's been a while. I think so. I'm just going to take it off and show it to you now so I'm not burning out. I'll add some pictures in. I'll add pictures in right now while I move things around. So this is my Fringe Theory shawl. It is done with Barocco yarn, which is like an acrylic wool blend. I don't have the thing with me to tell you exactly what the percentages are, but it's on my project page on my Ravelry if you're that curious. It is done in the Cracked Pepper colorway. Now, this has not been blocked, so it will probably grow even a little bit more. It has not been blocked because it's been fairly chilly and I've been wearing it like almost every day. It's the perfect blackish gray color, an amazing perfect neutral for me, and I wear it with like everything. So I am slightly obsessed with it. It's got this fisherman rib design, and it is in a very distinct long V shape, like that, like an extended V. It has some rows of eyelets and fringe. It's the Fringe Theory shawl. Of course, it's going to have some amazing fringe on it. This pattern was when I was test knitting for Megan Tchir, I believe is how you say it, from the Knitters Party podcast. Megan actually just recently moved back from Egypt. She's a Michigan girl originally, but she moved from Egypt back to California, I think is where she said. And I'm pretty sure she just uploaded a recent episode, so I'll have to check that out. But this is the gorgeous Fringe Theory shawl by Megan. If you haven't already snagged a copy, go get one, because it is beautifully written. And like I said, this is pretty much one of those staple pieces for this fall. It's fantastic. It's huge, and the way it sits, because of the V, you can see right here, it doesn't bunch up on your neck. It goes around the back of your neck real nice, but it doesn't bunch up in the front where you have like all this. It's not like a cowly kind of shawl. It's just a nice fashion, and it's also very warm. So I'm not going to put it back on because it's a little too warm in here. I love this shawl though. By far one of my favorite knit pieces that I've made to wear on a day-to-day basis. And because I used the Barocco yarn, I think it was only like $9. I think I got it for $9 each, and it takes two. I think I used a little bit more than what she had said, but I still had quite a bit of yarn left over from the second ball. So really, for not even $18, you guys, this is an amazing staple piece to have. I highly recommend it. It was a lot of fun to make too, real easy. I did a lot of TV knitting with this. I shouldn't say TV knitting. I did a lot of, I guess it was TV. It was like HBO Go on my computer, because I have to wear headphones at night so I don't wake up the kids. So yeah, amazing. Megan, love it. Thank you so much for letting me test this. I'm probably going to make some more to gift for Christmas, because I've had a lot of people say that they love it. My friend Sarah said she wanted one, and she doesn't like wear scarves or shawls or anything, so she's probably going to get one. So that was my In the Spotlight for the night. Let's go ahead and move on to finished objects. I have some to show you, and I have some that are not here. I did do a couple more things for the pumpkin farm, and I forgot to take pictures. So I don't have... I think I have one little owl out there, and I forgot to grab him, so I'll take a picture of him later or something. Let's start with something from August. If you've watched before, like prior episodes, you'll know this year I've been following Taylor from the Wool Needles Hands podcast. She's doing a Year of Hats cowl. And you can knit or crochet. Last month in August was insane. Like, I was so busy. I made so many things for the pumpkin farm. I did not have time to knit a hat. I've knit one every other month because I think I'm actually just at a year of knitting now. So I'm still trying to get better at it, essentially, make myself more fluent in it and understand patterns and things like that better. So I've been trying really hard to knit them, all the hats for this cowl, just to get better, essentially. But I didn't have time. So this one, I just crocheted one for August. This is my August hat. I don't remember the yarn. I know it's like anti-pilling acrylic, 100% anti-pilling acrylic. I want to say it's a Premier yarn, but it could be a Big Twist. It's one of the two from Joann's. It's super soft, just a cute little blue and white hat. It's just a basic half double crochet hat. Half double crochets all the way down with basic increases going around, and then like a slip stitch bottom. Nothing exciting, just something I could whip out in like an hour, so I had something to put in, because I vowed just the podcast before that I was going to make one for every single month, and I came that close to not making it. So I had to do something because I was not missing out. Now for this month, for September, you guys, I went all in. I think that one was like gift knitting, so I can gift that to whoever I want for last month's theme. September's theme was cabled hats. Now I could have done crochet cables because the thought of doing knit cables terrified me, being a new knitter. But I said, no, I really want to learn to do knit cables anyway. Let me just go find a pattern that's ranked as like piece of cake easy. So I found one, and I did some YouTube video researching, and I'm really, really proud of this. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen this already. Look at. This is my, what is it, Homestead Cables hat. This pattern is by Charlotte Knits on Ravelry. Free pattern on Ravelry. It's purple. And even with this fancy light, it still looks blue. I'll hold it back here. I'll pop a picture in right here real quick. This is a picture I took outside on my porch, which I'm supposed to be staining, but for Instagram picture purpose-wise, I almost don't want to because it looks awesome. Anyway, Homestead Cables hat is a really, really super simple, easy cable pattern. Super simple, easy, and I am very happy that I attempted it. Now, another thing I learned is twisted rib. Don't mind that little mess up right there. We'll just go like that. Yeah, you don't see that. Twisted rib. So there's twisted rib right there. And it looks super neat and tidy, and I really like it. I was afraid it was going to be more complicated than it really was, because the way people were talking about it made it seem kind of scary, but it's so simple. I had no problem with that, and I really, really, really like it. I really, really like it. So I will probably be incorporating it with some other patterns, because I like the way it looks. I think it just looks real nice and clean. But the cable is, don't ask me to remember how the cable goes. I'm sure any knitter who's done cables is probably screaming at me going, it's this pattern. I don't remember. But it was simple, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. It's like a 6 cable or something. I don't know. I'm professional here, people. Super professional. I decided, I'm not normally a pom-pom person, but recently I've kind of fallen in love with them. So I made a pom-pom. I got some fur at Joann's while I was there, because I knew once I finished this hat, I knew I wanted to put a pom-pom on it. So I made a little pom-pom, and I can actually probably make a couple more out of this yet. It's got this gorgeous brown undertone with black fur on top. It's obviously, fake fur. I think I paid like, I think this was like $4 for this little piece, but it was Joann's, so I had like a half off coupon. So I paid, like $2, and I can get like 4 pom-poms out of this bad boy, depending on how I cut it or how big I make my pom-poms. Love it. I actually have in my head that I might be adding a pom-pom too. But this yarn, I got it on clearance when one of my favorite yarn shops, A Piece of You, was having a big sale. It is Ella Rae in the, I want to say it's Cozy Alpaca Blend, color purple, and truck outside. It's super soft. It's an acrylic alpaca blend. I think I only paid like $5 for one, and I have one more of these and 2 in like a light teal color. I've had quite a few people asking me to make them. I don't terribly have time to right now. I might sell this one, but Abby loves it and I kind of love it too, even though I'm not a hat person, so I don't know. But I did make the pom-pom, and I had a couple people asking me about the pom-pom, where I got it from. Like I said, I made it and it was super cheap. If I get like 4, I'm gonna put this one down. If I get 4, I could probably get 4 pom-poms out of this one section. So that'd be like, with my coupon and everything, maybe 50 cents each, which is way cheaper than a couple dollars each in my opinion. I was thinking about doing a tutorial for how I do mine. So if any of you guys are interested in a quick little DIY video tutorial on how I make a pom-pom from a hat, they're nothing fancy. They don't have like the perfectly enclosed ends with the little buttons and all that. They're just little tied-on ones that I will normally just use the yarn that I'm using for, depending on what kind of yarn it is. I don't attach it that way. That way it blends in really easy when I sew it in. So if anybody's interested in a pom-pom tutorial, let me know and I'll try and whip one of those out and get it posted for you. So let's go into a pattern that I don't have here. A pattern. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. Let's go into a finished object that I don't have here. You guys, it's been forever and I'm not even to the finished objects yet. Anyway, I did a set. We'll pop the picture up. A set of little Diny-saurs. Maybe I should have had coffee tonight. A set of little dinosaurs and eggs. Those are the words I'm trying to say today. It is called Diny-saurs and Eggs. It's by Becca DeCroon. I believe it's like $5 on Ravelry, something like that. Totally worth it. You get 5 different dinosaur patterns, which you'll see there's a pterodactyl, a Tyrannosaurus Rex, brain fart, Triceratops, a Stegosaurus, and Apatosaurus is the one with the long neck. It's not a Brontosaurus or a Brachiosaurus, which is the only thing I could think. It's an Apatosaurus is the 5th one. And then it has 2 different size egg patterns, a smaller one for the pterodactyl because he folds up pretty tiny. And then it has a large one for the other 4. Now I used mainly, I think I used like Red Heart Super Saver for all the dinosaurs. For the eggs, I held, you have to hold the yarn double. It makes it kind of thicker and sturdier. And I'm trying to remember which ones I used. I just used like a beige and then a tweedy one for a couple. I used a white and the tweedy one for a couple. And then I used the tweed kind of held together for a couple. I believe that one was also just a Red Heart. I can't think of the name of it. If I remember, I'll pop the name down here for you. Then it's got little button clasps. That was, somebody had asked me to make that for their son. So there's that one. And I have 2. Oh, real quick, what I want to talk about with those dinosaurs. I had enough 6 millimeter eyes to make 3 of the dinosaurs. Okay, 3 out of 5, and she wanted all 5. So the only places that I can get safety eyes other than online, because I didn't realize I was almost out, so I had told her they would be done by the end of the weekend. Other than going online, the only places that I can get 6mm or safety eyes at all is either Joann's, Michael's, or Hobby Lobby. So I made a special trip up on a weeknight to go get these eyes. I went to Michael's first. They don't carry any. They have googly eyes out the wazoo. Not a single safety eye. Okay, that's fine. I think I picked up something else from there. Oh, I had to go to Michael's anyway to get some of the Karen Pantone, and it was on sale for $5. I'll talk about that in a little bit too. So I grabbed that, left. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go to Hobby Lobby because Hobby Lobby, I can normally get a decent sized pack of safety eyes for only like $2. They have the best price on safety eyes if you don't have coupons. So I go. Mind you, I have all 5 of my children with me. 5. Do you ever take 5 kids with you to a store? Multiple stores? When 2 of them are potty training? Joy. Got into Hobby Lobby. Now here's the entrance, right? Here's the store. We'll picture this. Here's the store of Hobby Lobby. Okay, here's the entrance. Right here. Here's the safety eyes. Have you ever been to a Hobby Lobby? Do you know how hard it is to make it from here all the way through all these aisles over to this without buying something? Because that store is amazing. Yeah. I made it all the way back there. All the way back to this corner. You know what I got when I was there? Nothing. Because the smallest size eyes that they had were 12s. And they were cat's eyes. Okay, made it all the way back through the store. And as I was leaving, I noticed the big flower section. And all I could think of was Kalisha. And her little Instagram real life post. Oh my gosh. She's Nadir Tani, I believe, on Instagram and everywhere else. She has the Quirky Monday podcast. She's amazing. You guys got to go check her out. But she had this post from her, like, with her little knits on and her little pumpkin spice coffee, which I think hers was, like, you know, not a pumpkin spice because she's not into that, which is whatever. And she's holding it, and she's this really adorable little perfect Instagram pose. And then she's got these 2 pictures afterwards where she's just making these hilarious faces, and it was totally a real life versus Instagram pose thing, and it was... oh my gosh, it was hilarious. So that's like the only thing I could think of. And I'm laughing hysterically. And the kid's like, what's your problem, Mom? I'm like, you guys don't even know. Kalisha's hilarious. So back on track. I leave Hobby Lobby with all 5 kids, get them all buckled in. Because, you know, they're in booster seats and stuff. So good old 5-point harnesses. And if I remember correctly, it was pretty warm that day. So yay. Sorry, I'm moving my feet, if you can hear that. I then have to backtrack and go to Joann's. Now, mind you, all these stores are a 40-minute drive from me in the first place, okay? So it took me 40 minutes to go there. I'm on my 3rd store, which I was hoping to get everything I needed in the one store to leave and get home in time for dinner. So, I had to stop moving my feet. That probably sounds weird. We go over to Joann's. One last store, I say. Just one more store, kids. Bear with me. We'll go get some food. I know you're all hungry. So we go to Joann's, and I'm like, oh, perfect. They have a plethora of 6mm eyes. I probably should have grabbed these packages to show you guys because this is hilarious. I grabbed 2 packages so that I could make sure I had enough to finish that project. And if I wanted to do some projects with them for the pumpkin farm, I wanted to have extra because I knew I was out, and I like to keep a bit of a stock just in case. Because, like I said, it's a 40-minute drive for me to go to these places anyway. So I like to have some on hand for whatever might come up. Grab them, go check out, leave with nothing else, which was hard because there was a big sale rack everywhere. Plus, Holly from the Proper Pineapple had found this yarn that was like in a skein form, and it was like hand-dyed looking yarn. And she said that she got it at Joann's. So I looked all over for it, but of course I couldn't find it in my Joann's. Boo. Grabbed the eyes, left. the kids are all starving. So I'm like, okay, well, we're not going to make it a 40-minute drive home. The kids will flip. So we stop at Taco Bell. I take all 5 kids into Taco Bell because eating it in the car is not going to happen. It's messy enough. We don't need taco stuff everywhere. Take all 5 kids into Taco Bell. And I'm getting everybody's drinks. I have all the kids sat down at their 2 little tables together. And of course, they're like super speedy at this Taco Bell. So they call my name for our order. And it's like 2 trays because, 6 people's worth of food. And the twins and I were pretty much sharing a meal. And there was still a lot. I'm trying to get drinks. I'm trying to have Leo take drinks back for me. And I turn around and this young dude, I couldn't have been much more than like 18 or 20-ish, so generously and sweetly grabbed the trays and took them to the table for me. So thank you, random dude at Taco Bell in Saginaw. I really appreciate your help that day. So yeah, we finally made it home. I'm like, cool, I can finish these dinosaurs tonight then. I put the eyes in these dinosaurs. I'm like, man, these things don't fit very well. They're taking up the head. I'm like, well, this one has a small head compared to the other dinosaurs. Maybe that's the problem. Do the next one. I'm looking at it. I'm like, man, these dinosaurs got some big eyes compared to the other ones. And I look at the package again. 6mm. Okay. Hold it up next to my 6mm eyes, and I'm like, bust out my ruler. I think I have some pictures of this. I'll show you guys. 9. I got 2 packages of the Joanne brand safety eyes, marked 6mm. They were both filled with 9mm words. 9mm safety eyes. Not even kidding you. I contacted them and gave them the barcode number and let them know that, hey, I already did my project, so it's not going to affect me. I'll use the rest of them anyway, so I really don't care. But you should know that you have a lot of, or an allotment, what do you want to say? You have a group of these safety eyes that are completely mislabeled, and some people might get really mad at you, so you might want to fix it. So she thanked me, and she took it down, and she's going to get in touch with them and see where to go from there. But keep your eye out if you buy your safety eyes at Joann's, because they might not be the right size. I was not too thrilled. I still have, oh my gosh, you guys, we might have to break this up into 2 videos because there's so much to go over yet. I still have 2 more things to show you. Anyway, another thing I was asked to make, another finished object, is this little sleeping unicorn, which again, if you follow my Instagram, you'll have already seen this little guy. His tail has got some little bit of eyelash yarn in it, and this is a Lion brand Fun Fur in the tropical colorway. Got some in his mane here too. I almost said heels, toes, and cuffs, you guys. Okay. Try that again. Hooves and muzzle are done with Pipsqueak yarn. So it's a bulky yarn compared to, I don't remember if I think I just used regular Red Heart worsted on this one. And then I used a black sock yarn for the eyelashes and the nose. Okay, so Grayson's awake. We're going to attempt to finish this, but we might end up having a visitor. We'll see how it goes. Okay, like I was saying before all that, this pattern, I don't think I wrote down who it's by. I didn't. It's not on Ravelry. It's one I found from like an amigurumi today. It's on Pinterest. You just type in like sleeping baby unicorn amigurumi crochet, whatever, it'll pop up. But the pattern doesn't really tell you like how to stitch things together. From the picture, it looks like it just goes around. So he's kind of stiff. So I think next time I might do like a single crochet across the tops and make them flat and sew them on so that his appendages kind of do one of these numbers. So it kind of moves and is a little more flopsy than deceased looking. If that makes sense. Yeah. He's cute though. I actually had a couple other people ask me to make them some too now, so there's that one. And we have one more that I'm going to show you that I can think of. There's probably more floating around. One more finished object and we'll move on. This is the blowing out, because it's teal, because Lord knows teal can never show up properly. White. It's like a creamy minty white. Teal. And then it kind of fades into blue right here. You can see, sort of. I'll pop in some pictures where you can actually see the color changes properly. Pictures. Painted Moss Cowl. This is by Samsqueak from the Samsqueak podcast, who is awesome. It uses, this is the child size, hence why it's so tiny. It only uses one of the Karen Pantone gradient sets. I'm not sure what you really want to call it. Like I said, I did buy two. The other one's a different color. They were only $5. I'll probably end up putting it in the giveaway bin because, in all honesty, I'm probably going to do a review on this yarn because I really wasn't the biggest fan. It's super soft, like silky soft, and I think it actually has like a silk wool acrylic blend. But again, I'll do a review on it later. Goals, we'll talk about all that at the end. It's a bulky weight, so you don't get a whole lot for it. The adult pattern takes 2, which, because they haven't been, I'm guessing they haven't been selling that many because they were originally almost like $9 a piece. And with this little yarn, oh gosh, I can't even talk still. With as little yarn as you get for that $10, even though it does have like a really nice composition, it might be nylon wool acrylic. It's really nice. It's cozy. It's super silky. I know when I'm used to shopping at first, especially before I got into wool, I was used to buying things like Red Heart and Bernat and things like that. So to come across something that was like $10 for not even 200 yards, there's no way I was gonna buy that. I still, for as little yardage as we get, I like the cowl. The cowl is amazing. This pattern was so much fun to do. I do need to get a little bit better at floating. And also I'm going to do a video about gauge because I've been pattern testing a bit lately. And apparently I have a much different gauge than several other people that I test for. So I want to do a video later about why gauge is important too. So we'll talk about that another time here soon. Anyway, Painted Moss Cowl. It was just recently released by Samsqueak on Ravelry. I will drop a link below so you can go check that out. It's a fabulous pattern. Even if you don't use the Karen Pantone colors, you can use whatever colors you want. This is the back. It does have an invisible seam. Sorry, I don't mean to give you the bird. Which you can tell I've never done before. But when you figure it out, it's actually kind of cool. It just goes back and forth in between, like on the inside. So you really can't see like any stitches. Like you can't tell that there's dark blue over here because it just goes in this part. So if you've never used an invisible seam on something, check that out because that is freaking cool. Plus I think it'd be kind of neat if you used like the same color here as here so that at the end it's like one continuous color. How cool would that be? So you can use whatever colors you'd like. But it's a great pattern. So go check that out. She uses like this Google document for everything and it looks so professional. So cool. And congratulations, Sam, on releasing this pattern because I loved it. My daughter absolutely loves this and actually the twins keep stealing it from her, which makes her very angry. So now we've finally made it through the finished object portion. Finally. Like a half an hour in. I have so much to show you and talk about. This might be just a really long episode, you guys. Feel free to like pause it and come back later. Or maybe I'll break it up into 2. I don't know what I'm going to do. We're just going to make it 1. Are we? Are we going to do? Yeah, we're going to make it 1. It's going to be a long one. Bear with me. We're going to talk about changes at the end. Okay. So, works in progress. There's not as many as I almost had. I have got a serious case of crochet DD / cast on itis right now. I'm sure it's probably just the weather. It could be the fact that I'm supposed to be making more stuff for the pumpkin farm and I am like procrastinating, where I'm doing other things that I don't need to be doing because I don't want to do the other things anymore. Like, I've made so many owls, I just don't want to at the moment. So I've started like a bajillion things. First, I want to talk about a couple things, or I want to talk about this one project because it's been a rough one. Okay, but let's talk about the bag it's in, shall we? My Chasing Acorns bag. I love this bag so much. I actually just ordered another one from her that has owls all over it. It's got that really cool snap bottom feature bag. Octopus. This really nice, like, thick nylon inside. Now, I talked about this on the previous episode. This is my Tri-Peaks Fate shawl by Holly from the Yarn Journey podcast. I'm close to done. There were several issues, not necessarily with the pattern, more with my yarn choices. As you know, I had a really hard time picking the yarn for this one, which was rough. I had a really, really hard time, and I actually still changed it like 3 times after I picked. I had some gauge issues with this one, where I just started with the recommended hook size, and I didn't gauge until I was a third of the way done. Oh, maybe not quite a third. A quarter? About a quarter of the way done. And I went, this is humongous, and I'm going to run out of yarn. Like, she used not even 40 grams total of the first color. And I was not done with the first color yet. And I had already used like 25 grams. I think she used like 36 total, and I was like, nah, I may have been closer to 30 grams at that point. So I checked my gauge, fixed my gauge by dropping down a couple hook sizes. And at that point I changed my yarn color again because I wasn't happy with the colors I was using. I did find one error, which I let her know about, but of course this was all during the hurricane. So she was evacuating. So I tried really hard not to bug her because I didn't want her to worry about the pattern at the same time as the hurricane in our house and all that stuff. So I do still have to get in touch with her about another couple things, but the pattern is amazing. I'm in love with the shawl. I cannot wait to have it done. I still have an issue with my yarn and my gauge, and I've learned a couple things about crochet. Even though you are the same person and you use the same crochet hook, depending on the time of day, the level of stress, the level of sleepiness, your tension changes. In case you didn't know, your tension does change. And I started out real good a couple times, and then I got looser, and then I got looser, and then I got tighter, and it's stupid. Also, the kind of yarn you use makes a difference. Sometimes when you use a yarn that's a bit stiffer or a bit thicker of a fingering weight compared to another one, it makes a big difference there too. So let's just get into this, shall we? So here is, I love my colors though. I am happy with the ones I finally picked. This is a Haskell sock yarn, and this is one of the Knit Picks ones I got in Andromeda something. I don't remember the color names. I'm terrible. I have them written down somewhere, but as you can tell right here, this is my second attempt at the first part. I think I got to like here the first time. This yarn is a bit thicker and a bit stiffer, so it should have been a bit smaller than what it is. You can tell it kind of bubbles up here, and that's not because of the pattern, that's because of the yarn. It it doesn't have any like drape to it. Like you can see this drapes, right? This really, it kind of just folds. Now, I've never worked with the Knit Picks yarn before. I'm kind of hoping that it softens up with a wash. It's not like super scratchy. It's just sturdier. Maybe we'll say that. And I faded, and I was going to go into a different color, and for the life of me, you guys, I could not find a third freaking color that I liked. And I really wanted to use this color, which I had about 37 grams of. So to be safe, I went out and bought a whole nother ball of it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to use the 2 colors, and I'm really kind of happy I did. I like the way it blends. It's noticeable, but it's still kind of subtle. And in the end, I'm going to have the same part going on all 3 pieces. So I've made it, I think I'm just now almost about to reverse to go back up on that one to have my peaks. And there's like a million ends to tuck in. But yeah, I'm almost there, and I know the deadline was probably a bit ago, but hopefully Holly is very distracted. Hopefully not in a bad way. She hasn't reached out to me. I'm not sure if she's reached out to anybody else yet about it, but another thing. Let me prove this tension issue here. I'm on the same exact part I should be with this last one, but here's my difference between 5 rows. I wonder if you can see this. Here's 5 rows of this color and 5 rows of that color. Can you see how this one's a bit bigger? Not only that, but if I line them up, it's a bit wider because my tension was looser. If I line them up exactly, but I can't see from this, I only do it on this side. This front part that I just did recently is a bit longer. You see that? Yeah. Let me line it all up so you can see properly how much my tension changed. Do you see that? Is that not... Oh, maybe I'm off one. Hold on. Ooh, that made me feel a little bit better. No. That's it. Yeah. You see that? That's how much my tension changed from this side to this side. Same needle or the same hook. And the counts are the same, going one way or the other. So I know the counts are perfectly fine. It's not the pattern. That's the yarn and my tension, because I can show you the, I don't know if I can show you that close, but the stitches on this one are so much bigger than the stitches over here where I was holding it really tightly. So I'm not sure if I just like did this one at night when I was asleep, or if I did that one when I had 9 kids running around the house and I was just really stressed out. I'm hoping, because it is 100%, well, it's not 100%, it's a wool nylon blend, both of them are. So I'm hoping with a block that I can just even it out and it won't matter, which should be the case. I don't think I have, I have my yarn balls in here with me and the tags. I did prepare Hawthorne Fingering Knit Picks in the Andromeda Speckle color. There we go. And then Haskell Sock in the Indian Condor color. So those are the 2 that I'm using. Here they are in the ball. Now this one, actually, I've used this one previously on a hat, and I showed it a while back, but it knits up so completely different than it crochets up, and I actually really like the way this one crochets up. I think it's really cool and speckled, whereas if you knit it, it just makes like rows of lines and stuff. And then here's the Knit Picks one. So that's what I'm doing with that. Love this bag. Links to everything, like the bag makers that I'm going to be talking about, will all be below. So if you're interested in getting any of these bags, now I know Kim from Chasing Acorns, her bags are kind of slim right now. I believe she actually had somebody take some of her bags, or majority of her bags, over to Stitches. How cool of an opportunity is that? So that's once that's over, everything's back with her, she might have more to put up in the shop. So keep an eye on it. Make sure you favorite it and, look for notifications because her bags are awesome. Another awesome bag I'm going to talk about real quick. One of my first project bags I bought is this one from Crochet Cakes. Elizabeth. I bought this one a while back. I really, really love it. Here's your little tag. Little focus-ish maybe. My little pin. My Howdy from Texas pin from Melody, whom I haven't talked to in a while. I don't know if she's been busy. I know I've been busy. Melody, I miss you. I'll talk to you soon. I'll send you a message on Discord or something later. This bag is housing my Strictly socks. So a couple of things about my Strictly socks. I'm using this awesome yarn that has like spandex in it because that felt appropriate for for a dance competition. I mean, think about their outfits. It's got elastic, not spandex, elastic in it. It's super stretchy and bouncy. It's just a black and white, so I'm calling it my ballroom black tie Strictly sock. In case you didn't know, the Little Drops of Wonderful podcast is hosting a Strictly Come Dancing sock along, the Strictly sock along. She hosted it last year too. But I'm joining in this year because I barely found out about it like halfway through last year. I'm using the Lacey sock pattern, which is one I had previously tested, and I love it. I'm extending the ankle just a little bit to get a little bit higher. I'm using these awesome little glitter ball. He's crying. These awesome little glitter ball stitch markers that I got from Randy from Randy's Ramblings. Tchir handmade. Oh, they're both crying. Hold on. The boys are cutting molars, and neither one of them are sleeping very well, so I'm going to try and rush through the rest of this really quick because it's not. He's probably going to end up in here in a minute. It's getting crazy. So, socks. Allie from the Little Drops of Wonderful podcast hosting the sock along. I started making my sock and watching videos, and I got distracted and I totally messed up the heel, so now I have to rip the whole heel out and fix that. This show's very distracting. Ooh, excuse you. This is very reminiscent of our third episode, except you have grown substantially. I think it was our third episode. Oh, that face. Oh, that face. We got another one in the doorway. Nikki. You want to come say hi? You're so tired. Okay, we're going to finish real quick. I did that one. Crochet Cakes. Dainty by Crochet Cakes on Etsy was the bag. A bag I talked about a lot on my Instagram. Let's see if I can move this down here. Here we go. This is by Fate's Threads. And it is... Oh, excuse you. It is labyrinth inspired. How amazing is that? Love it. Cute little bag. Inside this has my In the Light shawl, which I was laughing. I'm going to rename mine the In the Dark shawl because it's literally dark when I'm always working on it. I accidentally messed up a stitch somewhere too, so I had to kind of fix that. Here's what I've got so far. I'm doing the fringed version. To my understanding, this part here, you just like pull and unravel to make the fringe, which freaks me the heck out. So we'll see how that goes. I've got that much done so far. Won't be long and I'll be adding in my other colors, which if you haven't seen on my Instagram, here are my colors. This one was the random... You can go to bed. Oh, careful. No? Okay. The random green I got from the Fiber Fest. Hold on, I'll pick it back up. From the Fiber Fest. I also have... Oh, this is going to be a great podcast. I also have Earl Grey from the Woolen Homestead is the middle green one, and the lighter one is Knit Picks in like speckled graffiti or something like that. So we'll see how that looks at the end. Nick's just staring at me. Look at, say hi. Hi. He has his daddy's ears and his daddy's eyes. don't you? You do. Last work in progress. I bought that bag, and before I even received it, I ended up noticing and ordering a second bag from Fate's Threads, which if any of you are gamers and you play World of Warcraft, you'll know what this is. It's totally a horde symbol bag. I had to have it. She actually sent me some stitch markers and a necklace to go along with this one, which is the horde symbol. How freaking cool is that? You are so amazing. I am obsessed with this. I wear it constantly. My boyfriend thinks it's awesome. I'm pretty sure he'd steal it if he was a necklace wearer. Oh, goodness. So, side note, a million years ago we talked about this before, where I said the dog was shedding and we figured out that my itchiness was because of her. Yeah, she has some weird like skin allergy thing going on, so her dander is absurd, and she sleeps on my pillow. So literally, you can see I got one here. My neck, all the way around, my scalp and my face is broken out in hives. It's been awful. It itches, and I want to cry. She is like getting special oatmeal baths and all sorts of skin treatment stuff going on, special diet. It's fantastic. So anyway, don't kick it. And this bag was a total cast on itis project. I'll show you the cards. You guys, this is gonna be one of them podcasts. I apologize. Fate's Threads. I'll just drop her links below because that's kind of blurry. She sends these cute little stitch markers, and she's got a discount code on the back for the next time you order. This one's like a little leaf, and this one's a little feather. They're super cute. I've been wanting to use them, but I left them on so you could see. Boy, I'm failing today. This is, when you have so many things, you forget a whole bunch of information to share. A whole bunch. And I have so much going on that I'm still drawing blanks. The socks, I don't know if I talked about, 9-inch circular H.O.O bamboo needles, like the size of 1.5 US, I think is what it is. In the light shawl is, I believe they're like a Knitter's Pro, a size 8 mahogany. I think it's something like that. The size 8s is important because I have 3 projects I want to do that all require a size 8, and that's the only set that I have. So I actually balled up my this month's yarn from Knit Crate. I got these 2 really gorgeous green balls of yarn from Knit Crate this month, and I love them, and I plan on making this really cute Cancun lacy boxy top thing. I can't wait to make it. Unfortunately, it requires a size 8, and that is part of a cowl, which I completely forgot to say. Oh my goodness. This is getting rectified, I promise. Bear with me for this one episode, and we're gonna fix this. Anyway, the In the Light shawl is for a cowl, running through the end of October, being hosted by Chevirel from Chevirel Stuff, and Lacey, who actually I believe spells her name the same way as mine, from the Knitted Cupcake, which her podcast is fun too. So check both those guys out. Join in the cowl because the In the Light shawl is flipping gorgeous. If you haven't heard about that, check out the hashtag for it on Instagram, or check it out on Ravelry because it's a beautiful shawl, and it's been a pretty fun project to make. You hold like 2 strands double and you fade them through like 3 different colors. So cool. So anyway, in this hoard bag, let me jump into that. I went to Walmart. Okay, I'd already bought this pattern because I loved it and I wanted to make it, but I went to Walmart and I found this new yarn that they had there. Comfy Cotton Blend. It is, I believe, cotton and polyester, and it's quite soft. And I bought it in the Cloud 9 colorway. Purples, blues, and like a creamy color. They actually had a different colorway that I wanted to buy instead of this, but they did not have a sweater's quantity. It is only a size 3, which is like a sport decay. Oh, there's the stitch markers. I put them in the bottom of the bag. Boop. Red and black for Horde. Anyway, it works up like a worsted, so you can pretty much use this as a worsted if you're going to use it for something. Now, the other colors, what I would have preferred.
Mommy.
What?
See?
I see. Piece of trash Mommy dropped a minute ago. I would have preferred the other colors, but they only had 3 balls, and I had to buy like 5, I think, because I am making the. Oh, careful, careful! I am making the Weekender by Andrea Mowry. And I put these onto these size 7s, and it's all twisted up because I had to use the 8s. And I realized that I needed to get that done because it's for a timed cowl, whereas the Weekender is just for me. So here's what I have so far. As you can tell, I've really wanted to work on this a lot. I worked on it quite a bit. It was my procrastinate. Whenever I didn't want to do something, I'd go to this. I did all this ribbing, and it's actually worked inside out. It is, I kept my 2 bottom pieces the same length. It's supposed to be a reverse purl, and then it has a, I can grab one here, mark that one there. It has a little slip stitch feature that goes up the center of the front and the back, but it's worked in just regular stockinette stitch to make it easy for you, and you just like flip it. To my understanding, you flip it like halfway through, or once you divide it for the sleeves or something. I believe. Oh, don't get the camera. We're gonna have to try and cut this even shorter because this is getting hectic. Got 1/2 asleep on my bed. This whole molars business with twins. I tell ya, I'm all wrapped up here, guys. Yes. Okay. So that's how much I got done on a Weekender already, and hopefully, if I can find some time, I really, really want to finish this. I had some issues with the gauge. I did end up dropping down because the rows, like I would get my stitch count was perfectly fine with the recommended needle size, but my rows were way off. So I switched down a needle size, and my stitch count was a little tighter, but my rows were still a little off compared to what they should be. So I decided to just go for it because I realized that, yeah, her sample is blocked and wool and cotton aren't going to block out the same way. So I did that, put it onto 2 needles, and did a quick little estimate of how it would fit, and I think it's going to fit okay. I'm still going to have a bit of positive ease, so I'm not too concerned. I am using the 8s for that, so when I'm done with my Indolite shawl, I'll be going back to that because I really, really want it. I think it's going to be a really fun fall piece to have into the winter. Cotton will make it nice and breathable. It's super soft. It's going to be a bit heavy compared to some wool, I think, but I think it's going to be pretty cool. I think that's all my whips. I hope, because people are very tired over here. Okay. Happy Family Weekender in the light. Strictly socks. Which, if I didn't say, the Strictly socks that I'm doing are the Liesl sock pattern that I tested for Nicole Peters, who is also the Woolly Kraken. Yeah, the Woolly Kraken on Instagram. I showed off my bags that I got. Oh, another new thing I also got, we're going to kind of jump into a little acquisition / crafty goodness kind of thing. I got a yarn swift. I got this ring light, which helps a bit, which my camera got moved, so we're going to deal with this, guys. And I got a yarn swift. I ordered them. I saved up some money and bought one off at Amazon. Super excited. I love the yarn swift. It has made my life so much easier to reskein and wind, and you're so tired. I'm so sorry, Peanut. Be just a minute. Yeah. If you haven't invested in a ball winder and a yarn swift, the yarn swift is well worth it. You can get a cheap one that works fairly well off Amazon for like $15 to $17. Totally worth it. At least if you don't have a ball winder and a swift, bring your yarn over when you want to use it and I will wind it for you. Because I know you've been getting the knit crates, which are awesome. So when you want to use that yarn, just bring it over with you sometime. It only takes a couple minutes to wind it up. Just saying. So you don't have to worry about getting your own. Just bring it to me. I'll do it for you. Other than that, the only other new crafty kind of thing I want to show you, and don't judge me, okay? So I've been watching all these videos about all these really amazing crafters that do polymer clay handles for their hooks. And I'm like, I want to totally do that. That'd be so much fun. So I decided to do it, and it turns out that polymer clay handles are really hard to make. In case you didn't know. So this was my first one, and I tried to follow like a design, and it turned out so funky, but the colors are pretty. So it's like black, that's gonna blow way out here, that's a bit better. Sparkly black and like this tealy blue color. Look, it's got like a flat spot there and here, and it's, oh my gosh, it's so awful. I think if I did this like a bubbly style again, I would actually like just form it to how I hold mine, because I actually have a bump where my thumb would normally go on this one. So that's kind of a bummer. I'd probably like make a flat spot there where my thumb goes, so it's more comfortable for me to hold. So yeah, that one was kind of wonky. This one turned out a little bit better, but it does have a weird indent at the bottom. But I made a sparkly black hooked on owls one. You can't see, I'll try and insert a picture if I can. The owls are not focusing. They're purple and teal, just like my logo, and then I've got purple, teal, and white polka dots going around with it, and it sparkles. I actually do like this one quite a bit, because it's just a plain round one, just gives that little extra. So yeah, that was fun. That was a fun little endeavor. Please let go of the camera. Let go. Thank you. You want to hold that for me? Okay. So that's all about that. Let's jump into...
This is an owl.
Yeah, owl. Let's jump into podcast chit chat and then home life chit chat. So, real quick, this has been a long episode, and I think that recording long episodes and editing long episodes is a bit much, which is why sometimes mine go a little further between. And it's... I got 5 kids, you guys. I do babysit right now up and through tomorrow. I babysit like 4 kids most of the time. Tomorrow I'm going to have 5 here on top of my 5. Wish me luck. But I am letting a couple go because we have kids in school, so when they come home, the time from that I'm watching them, it's homework and snack, and then it's cooking dinner and doing more homework, and then feeding all of them and doing dishes and finishing homework. Now on Thursdays, every other Thursday, we do Girl Scouts, and pretty soon the boys are going to start Boy Scouts. And starting tomorrow, we got Abigail signed up for ballet. Her ballet falls pretty much a little bit right after school, so the other kids I'm watching, which I gave the parents like a full month's heads up that I'm not going to do it anymore. And we just decided to sign up Abigail like this week, like today. So her classes start tomorrow, every Wednesday. So it would fall at an awful time for me to watch all these kids. So I am getting rid of the family of 3, which will make my life a lot less stressful because they are the youngest. So hopefully things won't be quite as hectic around here. But that being said, the longer podcasts are just getting to be a little much for me, and then if I push it off, it gets even longer like this one, and this became one slug of an episode, you guys. This is going to be a beastie. He's a cute beastie, though. Yes, you are. You look so much like your daddy. Anyway, so what I'm thinking about doing is breaking my videos up a bit. I see you. Breaking my videos up a bit. I want to still do like a podcast episode where I kind of talk about my works in progress and things like that. But I'm thinking about maybe doing like when I finish a big object, like if I do my weekender, maybe do a little video on that. Just to kind of break it up. Like if I want to do a yarn review, talk about the Karen Pantone, I want to try and do, a little video on that. Or, did you drop it? When I try and do craft or something, I want to try and do a little video about that separately. Just to make it first quick. Just to not only make it easier on myself, but to make it easier for you to actually have time to watch the video. Because YouTube is working, if you're a creator, a YouTube video creator, you'll know that they are working on like a beta version, something that they're trying to do to make the YouTubing community a little better, I guess, for people. And when that pops open, that's the word. It has like a little video that I just now kind of realized it's been almost a year, and I'm just now seeing this, like kind of showing you, put it down please, different ways to make your channel better. Basically, it's like a YouTube how-to for creators. Anyway, a couple things it goes over is, keeping track of your watch time. How long on average are your viewers watching the video? Some people's are like 2 minutes because they're short videos. Some people are closer to like 20 minutes. But I looked at mine and I tend to average and fluctuate somewhere between like 12 to 15 minutes. Sometimes closer to like 18. And I get it, because a lot of us are busy moms, or busy grandmas, or we're busy. We're busy people. Life is busy. Life keeps you occupied. So, you flip it on, you watch for 15 minutes, then all of a sudden you have to go do something, so you stop it and you come back later, whatever. But I know personally, lately I've been so busy that I have not had time to watch the hour-long podcasts. So I'm way behind on watching all my episodes, and it doesn't help that so many other podcasters watch or listen to the My Favorite Murder podcast. So I may be about 30 something episodes in on that, because it's kind of addicting. I got my sister addicted to it too. Anyway, off topic. It's nice because I can just listen to it. I don't have to like watch while I crochet or knit or whatever. But I haven't had time to watch like the hour-long podcasts, things like that. So I've been, this person only has a 16-minute video. I can totally watch that real quick in between, cooking dinner and doing homework or giving baths or whatever. So I'm kind of thinking about maybe trying to break mine down into smaller portions. Is that something you guys would be interested in? Do you like longer episodes? Do you think that breaking it down into smaller portions would be easier for you guys? I could, like I said, I could always still do just a regular podcast, but I do want to try and start. I know we're almost done. I do want to try and start doing maybe some yarn reviews, a couple pattern tutorial kind of things. We're cranky. Let me try and get through this real quick. Okay, maybe we're almost done. So yeah, thoughts on that? What do you guys think? Do you think like maybe half-hour episodes, or should I do like little 15-minute, hey, this is my finished object, and then do like a half-hour episode for actual like podcast episode? Oh, puppy, you're so sad. Here, come here, lay this way. Lay that way. Okay. Pardon. Momming. Okay. Where was I? Yeah. So like how-to videos, yarn hauls, things like that, crafting videos. I mean, obviously, like I said, I already want to do the Vlogtober and things like that. So what do you think? What would you prefer? Would you prefer just the long podcast and, the random videos here and there? Or do you think breaking it up would be better for you guys? I could maybe do, more videos that way. It's kind of what I'm leaning towards. Instead of doing like a podcast every 4 weeks instead of 2 like I was supposed to, I could do 1 or 2 videos a week would be kind of cool, just to kind of keep in touch, so I don't feel so overwhelmed with having so much all at once. Again, just things I'm trying to think might help you guys actually see all the content and not miss out on anything. It might help my sanity a little bit by breaking it up, so we'll see where it goes from there. So yeah, I pretty much already did the live chat in there as well. So I think I'm going to let you guys go so that I can put these guys back to bed. Do you want to go back to sleep? Okay. So thanks for sticking it out. I know, like I said, it's been a pretty crazy long one. Hopefully I'll get this edited and put up in the next day or two so that we can catch up and get your guys' opinions on everything we talked about today. Thanks for joining me, guys. So until next time, can you say happy knitting? No, we're going to get a potty face. Say happy knitting, happy crochet, and happy crafting. He's a great pouter. Oh, isn't that the best pout face you ever saw? Can you say bye? Say bye. No. We'll see you later, guys. I just spilled tea all over my show notes.